Hi, today I'm going to try to freeze a Halloween pumpkin using liquid nitrogen poured into the pumpkin. So we're going to try to freeze it from the inside out. So I'm going to take a knife here. I'm going to start carving away the top. Okay. Now I'm going to get a thermal glove and I'm going to take the liquid nitrogen and pour it directly into the Halloween pumpkin. Look how the nitrogen reacts to the inside of the pumpkin, just bubbling and boiling away. Very windy out here today. Okay, that's the end of the liquid nitrogen. Now, while that's boiling away, I've got sort of a Halloween story to tell you. This is the grave of my cousin Virgil Hardin, who died in 1974. He was going through a divorce, and he was only 40 years old. But he was going through a divorce, and I guess it was a pretty messy divorce. And one day he went to get into his car, and the engine wouldn't start. So, like anybody, he got out of his car, popped the hood, and when he opened the hood, a bomb went off underneath the hood. And from my understanding, completely blew his head off. I remember as a little kid going to the funeral, and my grandparents were saying that the funeral home had made him a plaster of Paris head. Now normally you would obviously have a closed casket in that kind of situation, but they didn't in his situation. They just made a fake head of plaster of Paris. Now, if you look at some of those things, I'm not sure if it was actually an entire head or whether it was what they call a death mask. But I do remember it as a child, and I remember how strange his face looked and everything, because it wasn't real. And no one was ever caught, no one was ever investigated, no one was ever prosecuted. 1974's law didn't obviously follow through the way they should have. And So it's a sad thing that someone got away with helping to cover up his murder. So let's go back to the pumpkin now. Now let's see exactly what the liquid nitrogen did to the pumpkin. I'm going to turn it over and try to smash it with a hammer. That's pretty solid. I mean, it is definitely frozen. Look at that. It's not gooey at all. It's completely frozen on the inside. If you take a knife, you can just whittle it out like wood shavings. The liquid nitrogen has frozen the pumpkin completely solid, completely thorough. Here's the other one, the other part of it. Listen to how dry that is and how frozen. That's amazing. In just a short amount of time, what cold, super cold liquid nitrogen can do. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you next time.